When evil shows its face, it's only natural to seek out a champion. When the corruption multiplies, our guardians must be sharp to combat it. When we seem to be speeding towards the edge, you might have to roll the dice to save the world. Sometimes, evil is hiding in plain sight, and it takes a hero to lay it bare. When evil seems unstoppable, we turn to our Sentinels. This is our last line of defense. The difference between life and death, between the light and the dark, between freedom and vengeance.
Alrighty, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is roughly 1:30 in the morning for John. I think we're only going to get to one game, so we're going to have to put all of the cool surprises into one game for you. But one of the surprises is, I think we promised this a few weeks ago, we're going to show you what the phone UI looks like for Vengeance. So you can notice that on your screen right now, we have not only my usual Steam, but we also have, I got an iPhone 6 here playing the game as well. So we're going to put together an online multiplayer game where I'm going to be playing both on my local Steam machine, but I'm also going to be playing on my phone. So let's pop open a new game here. All right, who stayed with us? I believe Jean-Marc and Jennifer are both still here, yeah?
We are.
Yep, I'm still here.
Fantastic.
And me.
And of course, John. It wouldn't be a Sentinels Live without John making fun of Jeremy making silly mistakes. All right, so let's see.
I'm just typing in the chat a lot.
Okay. So I think with that number of people, we're probably going to play 5 because I am going to be playing 2 here.
Are you playing the phone version?
And the Steam version. So I am
Cool.
in Justice Comics 290.
I see it.
Oh, I never made a thing for myself on my phone. Wah, wah. That's okay. I'll be Mr. Question Mark Man.
That's odd. It's not going past the Handelabra splash screen. I will close it and try again.
All right, well, while you're doing that, we will spoil all the fun stuff that we're doing. So I think some actually eagle-eyed this time, people noticed the last time around that there were some... Actually, it looks like the phone version is looking a little not quite right. What is going on there? Anyway, again, not quite launch ready yet. But some people might have noticed that there were some variant banners on some of the new heroes. So we have a few new variants that we're going to show off this time. We got Knyfe, Rogue Agent. Her new power is Infiltration. Reveal the bottom card of a deck, either put it into play or discard it. Then we've got the Naturalist, a.k.a. the Hunted Naturalist, Desperate Prey. His power is select Crocodile, Gazelle, or Rhinoceros. Until the end of your next turn, you may activate that icon's effects, either draw or play a card. The Hunted Naturalist is awesome. If you play your cards right, you can get all 3 of his thingies going. And he has one-shots that have different effects for each one. And so that is pretty neat. Then we have Sentinels. Now, the Sentinels are an interesting case because they have more than one hero card. So if you click on the variant, it switches you over to the Adamant Sentinels, which are, in this fun green motif. Oops, I hit the wrong button. So you've got Dr. Medico, who is his regeneration power. Then you've got Mainstay, which switches to Haymaker. You've got Idealist, who switches to TK Thump. and then you've got Rive, who is Shroud. But one of the things that Christopher was really, really, really specific about was that he wanted us to be able to mix and match the Sentinels. So you can actually play with, sort of non-Adamant Sentinels and Adamant Sentinels. You just have to decide which ones you want and switch them to that one in the sort of full card view. So here we've got, regular Dr. Medico, and then we can switch this over to like Haymaker Mainstay, and we can switch it over to TK Thumb Idealist, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to
Is this where I contradict you, Jeremy?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because you weren't there talking to Christopher, and we were about this.
Okay,
I
fair
don't
enough.
think.
I was going by what I saw in the Slack one day. He said, yes, I think people should be able to mix and match.
Yes, but I wouldn't characterize it the way you said.
Okay.
He was aware that people would mix and match.
Oh, I see.
And so he wanted to make sure that they work, and he wanted that to be possible because people do it in the physical game, but they are not designed specifically to be mixed and matched.
Oh, I see. So they're not like play tested and balanced to be mix and match necessarily.
Yes, and now you have people in the chat saying, wow, I completely misunderstood Christopher's stance, because, yes, you misrepresented Christopher's stance.
Yeah, I mean, from a technical perspective, Christopher's stance was this should be supported in the video game. So I misspoke. I am not going to play the Sentinels because that's going to be too much for me to keep track of, since I'm going to be playing two different things on two different devices here. So I'll actually go ahead and take Setback and probably Parse. I'll play the non-variants. I'll let you guys play with the variants tonight.
I can't get past the splash screen.
Oh, no.
Which has never happened to me before, but of course it happens on the 100th episode, right? So.
Of course.
Have you been playing lately on Steam?
Not in the past week or so.
Are you on Windows?
I am.
Do you know where the player log is? If not, I will send you the path.
I misspoke should be one of Jeremy's catchphrases. Yes. I assume you guys saw the caption on the Kickstarter post and the blog post today where it's like, wait, what did I just do? Jeremy, every stream. But that's why you guys love me. I'm the lovable fool. That's my position on the stream. Just live debugging. Always fun. All right, well, they're trying to figure that out. I'm getting out some candy. Sour Jelly Bellies are my poison of the day. Looks like Gamer Jen has chosen Knyfe Rogue Agent. Jen, have you been playing much of Knyfe Rogue Agent?
No, not really, but I would like to.
All right.
I've been playing with the Sentinels a lot, so I thought I'd try something different. But yeah, that's a really super cool power she has.
So Mimatone says that John's quote is, wait, what did you just do? It's more like, why did you just do that? In a very impatient voice. Yeah, so the difference between Knyfe, Rogue Agent, and sort of base level Knyfe, her base level power just does damage. But her infiltration power, reveal the bottom card of a deck, either put it into play or discard it. So she's a little bit more of a deck management type once she gets into her Rogue Agent mode. It's okay, Sonic Blade. I brought enough for everybody. Just here. I'm holding them out. Go ahead and grab one. Just for you.
Well, and she can play, like, kind of like Super Scientific Tachyon. She can put cards into play that in a special way.
Would you be the end of the world for you, Jeremy, if you switch to the beta branch?
Hopefully not. Well, let's just go ahead and throw our hat over the fence. Boom. All right.
All right.
We're switching to the beta
Everyone switch to the beta branch off the internal branch. There must be a bug that I made that's in the internal branch that I will have to fix.
What's going to happen with the phone version?
It won't be able to play.
All right.
I can switch it so you can play that version.
Okay.
It might take a minute. Let me switch test flight to that.
Okay.
If the stream will have patience.
We love our stream people.
We can take some questions.
They've had
perhaps.
patience with us for 100 episodes so far, so
True.
That is a good point.
I think the problem, Jean-Marc, is you don't have a continue file, and there's a bug that's happening because of that. That's my thought based on your log file, but it's not something I can fix
good
quickly.
thing we found that now. Yeah, because switching to beta it worked instantly. So
Okay, good.
Oh,
my
okay,
thing
good.
is
So
downloaded.
that is switched. So now the only question is, are we going to be able to get the phone on it?
Yep, just hang on.
Hanging on.
I think I want build.
Night of the
Build
Frozen
600.
Lands has a good point. We should have a technical difficulties screen and just
Yeah, maybe the phone version. Not unless you have an external testing account that you can switch to.
I don't.
and
believe
it's
I do.
guys dancing.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to back out.
Might
New
just
game.
show a little bit of the
Yeah,
phone
that's
version.
exactly what I'm going to do. So
It's
I'm going to
like-
randomize a villains game so you can see sort of what it looks like. The animation is a little herky-jerky because there's so many things happening on my computer right now. Rest assured, the animation is smooth as butter on the actual phone screen. It's actually my streaming software that's adding that sort of jumpiness to it. So you can see, like, here's the new opening screen. It works the same as it does on phone now, but it's instead of one villain, you now have 5. So here you go. So as is typical on the phone version, normally there would be one villain here, and then you got your heroes in the bottom, and then the environment. But here you can see you got all 5 of the villains. You can just sort of tap on each villain to sort of see their play area, in the same way that you can tap on a hero to see their play area or the environment. If I start the game, you can see everything comes out the way that you're used to seeing it. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here so you can see it all sort of pop out. We got game setup happening. Out comes Elemental Psyche or whatever that is, the card that I'm always making fun of and always screwing up. So basically, in a lot of ways, it's basically just the Sentinels that you're used to. It's just you've got more villains to keep track of. So now when it gets to a hero turn, you can see there's a row of villains across the top, row of heroes next. So it's actually a lot easier than I would have thought to keep track of what's going on in the game when you're playing on a phone. Because it really is, if you've been playing Sentinels on your phone to begin with, it's just there's a little bit extra to keep track of, and that's it. So, good stuff. I'm not going to play much more of the this on the phone here because
Yeah, it's actually like the UI is less different on phone from single villain than it is on landscape, I think.
yeah, exactly. All right, so let's
Because we already had to sort of reduce the villain area so much for phone anyways.
okay. So as I said earlier, I'm going to play the non-variant people because we've already shown variant setback. I can play variant setback, but
Hey, we're all in the game. Sorry about that technical hiccup, but good thing that's not in the finished version. Or it won't
actually,
be.
I don't even need to play setback because we're only going to do 4. So
I'll be right back.
oh, sorry everybody. Okay, so we really wanted tonight to be able to tell you definitively when Vengeance was going to launch. Unfortunately, we still cannot do that. Our patented, trademarked, copyrighted soon is still in effect. The reason why we were hoping to tell you tonight was we were actually hoping to submit it to Apple today and then have, the however long it takes Apple to approve it is going to be how long it's going to be. But unfortunately, there's still 1 or 2 little things to break out. Our stated goal internally is we want to get it out to you before Christmas, and that is what we're trying really hard to do. I can't unfortunately promise that, but that's what we're pushing for. So hopefully you all will have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with some Sentinels Vengeance. But you can't hold us to that. And this will be preserved for posterity on our YouTube channel, so you'll know that we can't actually do All right, since we're only going to do 4, I'm going to take Ermine out because I hate Ermine with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. And we're going to do... I mean, we've showed off both Mobile Defense Platform and Freedom Tower. And I believe in this build, neither one of them have music. So we should probably pick something else that does have music. Any
Yes,
thoughts?
they don't have music in this build.
What?
Silver Gulch?
I was about to say Silver Gulch. That is fantastic.
Oh, Jennifer had an idea, though.
What do you think, Jennifer?
Oh, well, I was going to say an environment that you haven't shown on the stream with Vengeance yet.
Oh,
It's gonna
okay.
be my
Yeah,
pick.
let's... I can pull that up.
Because they all have new cameras.
That's right. Let's see. So
You
live
should also
streams-
finish eating your candy or whatever, Jeremy.
Sorry. You're right. That's like one of the ultimate sins of radio, so I apologize. All right, in Vengeance games, we have played the Final Wasteland, Realm of Discord, Mobile Defense Platform. So yeah, it's, Silver Gulch is a winner.
Cool.
Cool.
So there was a question a minute ago about unlocking variants with the Vengeance stuff. I don't know that we're going to specifically answer those questions, but thanks for asking. We are the army of the people. We swing the hammer of the people. Fall before the people. That was not a Russian accent. I got so much crap for trying to do a Scottish accent last week, I'm not even going to try. I see through you.
You should have Jean-Marc do the Russian accent.
What do you think, Jean-Marc? We are army of people.
Oh, see? Got Jeremy to do it anyway.
You got me to do it. I see through you. Your weaknesses are all too visible. All right. So, as we come to them, we'll talk about the different variants and how they work. I'm just going to go ahead and start the game and let this come out real quick. And then I will read through what everybody has. Because it took us longer to start that game than I think we had planned because of the sort of switching branches and all that other stuff.
Omniblade.
So many things.
Yes, the more villains, the longer the startup game takes, but
Yes.
it's a little faster than setting it up on the tabletop, though.
And less things to put away. All right, so we've just arrived on a Proletariat dealing damage, so I'm going to take this opportunity to read off what everybody has. Parse has got Impossible Shot, Snap Decision, Syntactic Analysis, and Targeting Arrow. So let's pop open these the Sentinels here. So you'll notice we've got this fun green Sentinels instructions card. That was something we specifically asked Greater Than Games if we could do when you're playing the Adamant Sentinels, because there really isn't a variant Sentinels instructions card, but we thought it would be a cool thing to do it. So that's what we've got. We've got Dr. Medico Regeneration. Each of the Sentinels regains 1 HP. You may draw a card. Mainstay Haymaker. Mainstay deals 1 target 2 melee damage. The next damage dealt to that target is irreducible. We got the Idealist TK Thump. The Idealist deals 1 target 1 psychic damage until the start of your next turn. Reduce damage dealt by a target dealt damage this way by 1. And then Writhe, Shroud. The next time a non-hero target is destroyed, you may move it to the bottom of its deck. So that is Adamant Sentinels. Then we've got Rogue Agent Knyfe, which I already mentioned. Infiltration, remove the bottom card of a deck, either put it in play or discard it. She starts with Energy Burn, Focusing, Conduit Blade for the greater good, and Infiltrate and Obfuscate. And the Hunted Naturalist has 2 Feral Furies, an Indomitable Force, and a Predator's Eye. And his power, as I mentioned, lets you sort of select one of your forms and sort of activate it until the end of your next turn without having to have that card out. So this is a good way that if you can get out one of those cards, activate one of these, and then on your next turn activate the other one, you can actually have a card and 2 activations and use all 3 of them, which is crazy overpowered.
We have one person in the chat asking us, can we make things slower? And another asking, can we make things faster?
Yes.
What we did
There
was we
are-
went ahead and
Time.
averaged those, and we've done it. So there you
And
go.
there are options to speed things up and slow things down. So
Yeah.
And of course, since Sentinels sort of is a game where things happen in order, you can always sort of stop and look around.
All right, so starting off with Parse. Luckily, Ermine's not in this game, but man, we got a lot of targets out. Let's see. I mean, the general knowledge sort of says go after Fright Train because he has that boost thanks to his Engine of Destruction. So he has more hit points than anybody else to start off with, but you can whittle him down a little bit more quickly. Let's see what Snap Decision does. At the start of your turn, you may discard one card if you do play a card. Syntactic Analysis, select a player. That player reveals the top 2 cards of their deck. They may play, draw, or discard each of those cards in any order. That is super fun. Does anybody feel like they want to do that? Because I'd be happy to let you do that right now.
You do have Targeting Arrow as well.
That's true. Targeting Arrow, Parse deals 1 target, 1 irreducible projectile damage, increased damage dealt to that target by 1 until the start of your turn. So that would help us get Fright Train down even faster if we wanted to try that. What do you guys think?
Sure, yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah, I would Targeting Arrow to Fright Train.
All right. All right, and then since I've got more damage, I might as well throw it at him. Someone says this is our 100th episode. I should try to deal exactly 100 damage. So that's 5.
Yeah, somebody keep track.
I opened my calculator. I'm going to try and keep
You
track.
can't deal more than 100.
The chat room, someone in the chat room will keep track for us. Jeremy's damage. I feel like no matter what you do, I'm going to deal more damage with the Sentinels than you do.
I think that is a fair assessment.
Actually, Parse doesn't have any area damage, so it'll be easier to keep track of.
Oh, actually, I did want to go ahead and mention this. We do have one more copy of the holiday bundle to give out before the end of this game. So somewhere in the midst of this game, we will be doing another trivia question to give out another holiday bundle valued at $50 US. Well, $49.99 technically.
All right, did you go through the new powers on the Sentinels?
I did.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to play Caligulous Form, get a signature move out, and deal some damage. I think, yeah, I'll just deal more damage to Mainstay, or to Fright Train, as opposed to the -1 from my Idealist.
I see that several people in the chat are already trying to keep track of it. Yes, I am at 5. I also have a calculator open. Hopefully I won't screw it up.
He puts his elbow on it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Is it like a real calculator or not?
So I want to play all of Knife's cards, but I can't do that all at once. So
Mario Fanatic C, XV, Christopher and Adam did the first piece of trivia close to the beginning of the stream that gave away the first one.
Nonetheless says you have a big black area where the mobile app was.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I can turn that off. Thank you.
I'm going to play Energy Burn. And look at all that
Burn
damage.
Fright Train.
8 damage. Alright, whose deck should I reveal a card from? I'll reveal it from Knife's deck.
Nice.
I'll
Yeah,
take that.
that was good. That's a nice card.
Battlefield Experience is the draw. And now Friction. Sorry.
That's what she's doing right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not partial to either one of these, so you let me know who wants to take this.
I
Naturalist
can take
heal.
it because I can turtle if need be.
None left to ask, with the 100 damage, are we counting potential damage from critical multiplier? I don't think so. As the way the engine works, you know, if it needs to be my hero dealing the damage. So I think that's the only way it's going to count.
You're almost there. All right.
They're talking about Naturalist having a turtle form. I feel like the rhino form is pretty much turtle form.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. I meant as in the mechanic of turtling.
Yes,
not
yes.
an actual turtle, which I guess is confusing when it comes to the naturalist.
Once we implement
All right.
Steam Workshop, people can come up with a turtle form for the naturalist.
All right. Okay. I was going to do croc form, but I guess I'll just play one of my Feral Furies anyway.
Yeah, so Mimatone was asking about, basically the question was to sort of expound on that. If you use Fling into Darkness and you deal damage, and then that allows Sentinel Tactics to go off, which lets you use like Idealist's damage dealer, and that is what then reduces that target to below 4, will Fling into Darkness still fling that target into darkness? And I believe the answer is yes, correct?
Well, they didn't actually ask a question, but
He asked
you're
it,
assuming
like,
that's their question.
He asked it last week, or 2 weeks ago.
If you're assuming that's the question, then yes. The clause about if that target now has 4 or fewer HP and Wrath is active happens after the first clause is fully resolved.
Yeah, it doesn't depend on
And I
it.
believe after that question was asked on the stream, I believe I actually did that in a game to see if it would work, and I believe that it did. So it not only works theoretically, but it works practically as well.
Shoot proletariats.
Not that one.
I don't know. See, my Russian is nowhere. My fake Russian is nowhere near as good as your fake Russian. I'm like zippa-dee-doo-dah. That's not Russian at all.
Well,
Tobias is tracking all the heroes, and the naturalist is winning.
That does not surprise me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it now. We are going to ask the trivia question on the next environment turn. So prepare yourselves for some trivia. Assuming we make it to the next environment turn, which I think we probably will.
Jeremy, you're quoted on everything you say.
That's what happens when you're
None
an
left says-
internet ever so micro celebrity. Everything you say becomes a thing.
Apparently the black box is still there.
Well, and you say a
It
lot
is?
of things. So
I
put
turned it
those
off,
two
but I never
together.
turned it live. There we go. Okay, black box should be gone now.
Please don't vote for Dr. Medico.
Yeah, it should be right because of the.
Please stop voting for Dr. Medico. Thank you.
The trivia is Sentinels of the Multiverse related. To answer Leo 9981. Somebody quoted, Jeremy, you're quoted on everything you say. All right, what did I get here? Updated intel. Whenever a villain card enters play, you may look at the bottom card of a deck, then either put it on the top or the bottom of that deck. I don't think I've played this card yet.
Well, we got Fright Train down to 8 hit points from
Yeah,
your target arrows. That was nice.
that was solid.
If you let the Sentinels play a card, we might be able to destroy him. Or I suppose the Naturalist.
Yeah, let's.
Fairly likely.
All right, so tell me who you think, Sentinels or Naturalists, on my syntactic analysis.
What do you think, Jean-Marc?
Toasty!
Well, since you're trying to deal 100 damage, maybe you could use it on yourself.
I could use it on myself. I feel like it's going to be a better decision to use it on somebody else, but I'm happy to use it on myself just to see what happens.
I know, but we have a sub goal here. So.
We do have a sub goal. All right, fine. Let's see what we get here. All right, so I got reveal the flaws, damage dealt by hero targets is irreducible, and gauge. Look at the top card of a deck. But yeah, Well, I'm definitely going to play both of these. So let's start with reveal.
The order
flaws.
won't matter.
Yeah, the order's not going to matter. So we'll get reveal the flaws in, and we'll get gauge in, and let's see. I'm actually not going to use Gauge. Gauge is awesome. I love Gauge when I'm playing with a team that has what's her name? Super Scientific Tachyon. All right, there's 3 more damage for me. Total of 8. Yeah, it's got to be fire
You're rocking
damage.
it, Jeremy.
It's funny they're
Last
talking
game
about
I
my
played
toasty
with-
because I've been playing a ton of Mortal Kombat lately. I recently relaunched Mortal Kombat XL to try and get a couple of achievements in it, so I've been playing a lot of fighting games lately.
Last game I played with Fright Train, he played Last Stop and revealed a Portal Fiend from Realm of Discord for 8 damage.
Oof. I will
Also
say,
dangerous to have him in Enclave of the Endlings.
so I was actually playing. I played a testing game where I don't remember all of the villains that were in it, but it was a team villain game, and I got to the point where everyone in the game was incapacitated except for a regular mainstay who had 2 HP, and there were 3 villains left with over 10 each, and I won. And it was one of the most fulfilling experiences I've ever had in this game. I used whatever the non-Dr. Medico revive one of your extra heroes cards was to revive Dr. Medico, and then I used the revive Dr. Medico one to revive one of the others. So I had 3 Sentinels going. Then I was healing up. I was using Mainstay's power to reduce damage to him, and somehow I managed to make it all work. And it was glorious. All right, Blade plays Zhulong. I don't know that we've played
This
a game
place
yet.
is not as nice as my temple.
Have we played a game yet where one of these Nemesis cards secondary things has come into play? I don't know if we have.
I'm sure we have.
Argent Adept, Fixer, yeah. I think we might have played the one with Fnatic, but I'm also might be remembering you saying this one would be good if Fnatic was in the game. So, I don't know.
It's very likely that we have.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because it changes the difficulty of the game based on your team composition.
Yes. Battlefield experience.
So yeah, maybe we should talk about why this is so cool. So when it's destroyed, you can draw a card and play a card. So it gives you an extra free card play after you use the power on it. Which,
Nice.
I think it's a cool
and
card.
you might be able to chain it with other things too, which is
Yeah, she's got a great card that she lets her deal herself I think it's 3 energy damage, I want to say, and it lets her draw a card, play a card, and use a power, right?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has that in her hand right now.
Does she? Oh, is that for the greater good?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can play that next. Well, my health is getting a little bit low, but I'll play it just because we were talking about it.
Rogue Agent Knyfe looks like a friend of mine from high school.
Nice.
Like quite a bit, actually.
Was she Scottish?
Unfortunately, no.
Ah.
I will damage everything.
Oh,
Yay.
incidental
Call it-
contact. I love this card.
Just gonna call it right now. I think that a conversation Jeremy will have after opening one of his Christmas gifts this year will be, "No, you misunderstood. I like dealing damage."
Oh, Jean-Marc.
I'm trying to figure out, does order matter on the rest of them?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just
Yeah.
make sure to say yes to the bad guys and no to the good guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm worried is all.
Yeah, with Knyfe, a lot of times I auto check the heroes first to get them out of the way so that I can just be like, yes. Not auto check. I manually check the heroes first and then let the villains just sort of go. But yeah, this card is one of my favorites, especially if you can get her +1 energy damage card out. Or, any other, frankly, any other damage boosters out there, because this lets her do so much indiscriminate damage. I think I did a testing game with her with this card in against Kargra, specifically so that I could get, like, the indiscriminate and just go nuts.
Bonus damage because of kinetic neutralizer. I guess there could have been some tricky damage ordering stuff that would get us a +1 or something with kinetic neutralizer. I forgot you had that out.
Yeah, did you hit friction yet? Because I think you'll be able to get some bonus against her.
I think I already hit her.
No, she's at full.
I mean, we could press rewind, but
we're not going to rewind.
Yeah, we're not rewinding.
For 2 damage.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it would have just been a couple extra damage.
Yeah, I think I'll have to watch the stream to figure out how much damage Knyfe dealt on this turn. Because I lost.
Oh yeah, if someone wants to. Oh,
I have to pick up my mother-in-law from the airport in a few hours. So as long as this is over by then.
So Colma says, I think you left Jeremy in the dust on the damage front. This isn't about dealing the maximum damage. I'm just trying to deal 100 damage. That's all.
Yeah, precisely 100. Not more, not less.
Sure, I'll put that in play.
Yeah, I like Prime Punch. That's a good one. Because it gives you options. I like cards that have options, you know what I mean? Like, this is like when, at the beginning of her turn, you could deal a bunch of damage and then destroy the card, or it's got its own thing going on. Colliginous form.
And its own thing is dealing damage.
Right.
Knyfe is all about the damage. Please vote for rides. And I guess rides, sure. The Sentinels are now the highest HP. We're at that point.
I've had a lot of games like that.
Yay.
Mainly because I think from a psychological perspective, like, they start with the lowest, so I'm always trying to protect them the most. And so as a result, they end up sort of like swinging around.
It's not that they swing around, it's that the other heroes are the highest, so they take the brunt and they get down to the same level.
Exactly right.
Okay, I'm going to put out Resilient Hide for a little bit of protection, but I will use Predator's Eye. And are we focusing on Baron Blade right now?
I usually don't focus on Baron Blade until I get his Psyche out, but like out of play. But either one.
Proletariat might not be bad because he's going to hit himself 3 times on his turn.
Sure.
Jean-Marc now showing a way that I have never used Predator's Eye to actually draw cards. Why? Because that makes you deal less damage.
Maybe not overall.
True, maybe not overall, but based on what this card is doing right now, like now,
Yeah.
you could have dealt 3.
But right now, I can deal more damage this way.
Come on, we know how I work. Wait, what did I just do? Sorry, I had to say that because I don't know if I've said it yet on this stream. So.
Hey, it's the sheriff.
All right, Sheriff Pratt comes out, which means we are on the next environment turn. So it's time to give away some free stuff. So I'm like, hang on here, don't vote for anything yet, because I want to ask our
free stuff.
Okay, so as of this comment where I say this, the first commenter to answer this question correctly will win the $50 Sentinels Winter Bundle, and that is name the first names of any 3 heroes from Vengeance. So that can be, any 3 of the main heroes, or 3 of the Sentinels, or 1 of the Sentinels and 2 of the full heroes, etc., etc. So the first person to post 3 correct first names of heroes from this expansion, Vengeance, will get themselves a copy of the core game.
Please post all of your names in one comment.
In one comment, yes. The core game, Season 1, Season 2, and the...
Leo 9981 wins.
Where's it? Leo 9981?
Miranda, Jason, and
Miranda, Jason, and Nick. Whew, that was quick. All right. So, yes, all of the correct answers are, since we now have a winner, Paige Huntley, Michael Conte, Kim Howell, Nick Hernandez, Jackson Bravo, Miranda Fisher, Eugene Wilkinson, and Pete Risk. Well played, Leo. All right, if I whisper to you, is that a thing?
That's a thing.
All right. And now, so I hit whisper, and now I just type a message, and that'll go to just him?
Maybe.
Let's find out. Whoops. I guess not. Everybody's going to be sending their info to info@handelabra.com.
If you click on them and say, you should get like a little chat bubble, like a separate pop-up.
That's what I thought. I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening. Like, literally nothing's happening. I click on it, nothing happens. All right. And now it says more messages below. I screwed this all up. So, Leo, let us know who you are via info@handelabra.com. We will confirm it before we send you your prize. But you are getting yourself a copy of the full game, both season passes, and the foil hero pack that you can either use for yourself or give to a friend, because that's how it works. It's for Steam. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's for Steam. Steam keys for all of those things. And actually, as mentioned in both our Kickstarter post and our blog post, some people have been asking, will there be sales on the app stores as well? There will. Details about those will be coming out next week sometime.
Oh, actually, Leo wasn't correct. Jason, I read Jason as Jackson. Sorry.
Oh, no!
But it's okay, because Leo posted that he wasn't right.
Oh.
So
was there anyone else that was right?
I wasn't even paying attention.
Let's see, Paul, Matt,
So the next person, let's see, not Mario Fanatic,
Page, and Kim.
Michael Page Kim. Yeah, Bjorning.
Bjorning. Didn't Bjorning win the first one? Bjorning, did you win the first one?
No, maybe. The next one is Kuchinawa 911.
All right, Bjorning, if you won the first one, I'm sorry, you're not eligible to win the second one.
Tobias won the first one.
Oh, Tobias won the first one. All right, so Bjorning. Bjorning is it.
Yes. Sorry, that's on me for not reading carefully enough.
That's okay. Everybody, here we are on the 100th episode of Sentinels Live. You were here to witness live Migrant P making his first mistake.
Ever.
mark your calendars. All right, so let's see if I can whisper to Bjorning. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. All right, so back to Parse. All right, so let's see what we got here. Buffer overflow. When a villain card would enter play, you may discard it. Instead, destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, draw a card and play the top card of the villain deck. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to impossible shot because I need to get my damage numbers up if I'm going to have any.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use Parse to her full advantage.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. All right, so let's hit Baron Blade for 3. Reducible.
You're back to being right, John.
I have now dealt 11 damage. And now I'm going to deal another couple. Oh, I'm not going to hit Baron Blade with that because it's reduced. I'm going to hit... Actually going to hit Friction. 13 damage. Woohoo! MVP of the night goes to Leo9981 for admitting, or for coming clean, or for being a stand-up guy, for the fact that he did not actually get the right answer, which we probably wouldn't have noticed. But
human emulation routine, alpha initiate, mistake simulation, algorithm active, migrant P.
All right, I'm going to deal more damage right now than Jeremy has the whole
Very
game.
good.
All right. I get to use another power. I will regenerate. And the choice is for me. Psychic damage. It's Proletariat. Pro tip. Wakuki asks, how did you guys settle on Adamant for the Sentinels alt name? We didn't. That is the name of them given to them by Greater Than Games. And they're named after Fort Adamant, where they did their training.
And they were very adamant about that name.
Yes. It was basically written on stone tablets from day one. And there was never any doubt. What's my power? What am I going to do?
my ears are tingling, which means you're making fun of me. But I was too busy trying to have individual conversations with winners of things, so I wasn't able to respond.
Jeremy is too busy talking to winners to bother with us.
Winning.
For the +1 from Predator's Eye.
So Atherian Silver Branch, Athener Silver Branch asks, will Skyscraper also be mix and match? I'm guessing that's a no, but we have not had that conversation with Christopher yet.
Yeah.
So
we don't really talk to Christopher about things until we're working on them.
yeah, until we're actually working on them. My gut would tell me that that's probably a no, because it's not actually different heroes, which is the case with the Sentinels, but don't hold me to that, because Christopher might have a different opinion. And he is the grand poobah of the multiverse.
Don't speculate, unlike Jeremy.
They call me Mr. Speculation.
Mr. Specs.
I used to
They
be Mr.
call
Specs.
me Mr. Glass.
Back when I used to wear glasses. But after I wore glasses, I wore contacts, and after I wore contacts, I got lasers shot into my eyes, so I don't have to wear either of those things anymore.
They call you Mr. Laser.
Athaniar.
Did you think that you'd be able to shoot lasers out of your eyes as a result?
Actually, it's funny. I actually specifically asked them to take a picture of my eyes, held open, from that Clockwork Orange style, before they shot the lasers in, so that I would have it for posterity. So I actually do have a picture of them, performing surgery on my eyes, because it was something I was very interested in having. I don't know why. I just did. And no, I did not ask them if I would be able to shoot lasers out of my eyes. I was pretty sure that my eye goop was not going to absorb the lasers and then allow me to shoot them back out again.
Maybe the Proletariat?
Yeah, that's it. It was debating between the Proletariat or Shock Dampeners.
I think we take it the Proletariat, then the environment might kill him for us.
Ooh, I can steal more damage. Yay.
Oh yeah, so actually you can take a Proletariat if you hit him
I'll
right
just
now.
get rid of Proletariat.
Nice.
So some might be wondering why you couldn't play the other focusing conduit blade there. It's because it's limited and you can't play both. Poor Knyfe.
So just so because I feel like this has to do with something that I was asking about during testing. Is that because was the focusing conduit blade destroying itself and letting you play a card?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And
so this was a
it's
question
in play
that I
during
had.
its own destruction.
Exactly. This was a question I had during beta testing. I was like, wait a minute, I don't understand. This card is destroyed. Why can't I play it? And it has to do with some specific rules questions that were discussed way early on in the process, which is that a card still is in play during its own destruction. So since the effect is you may play a card, but that card is coming from a card that is in the process of being destructed or destroyed, it's still in play. So since it's limited, you cannot play another copy of that card. I was really bummed because I was like, oh, I've got this great combo all worked out, and it didn't work. And that's because I did not understand the way the game worked.
Yes.
That never happened.
Which of course never happens. Wait a minute, what did I just do? I feel like Sentinels Live would not be as good with two people who understood the game as good as John, because it would be a lot of people not talking and just winning every time.
Here, we can destroy this card you will never use.
Sure.
Speaking of exploits, we had to make a change to Prime Warden's Captain Cosmic because there are loops that he can get in where he just basically finishes the game all in one turn. And not
so
like
we need
late in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something you can get going really early. We're only going to have one card left here. Is it okay if that remaining card is Sentinel Tactics?
Sentinel Tactics condensed into one card.
I guess everyone else is AFK, so I'm the one voting.
I mean, I'm clicking. Why am I AFK? Here we go. Boom. There.
You guys are all AFK, so I got to unilaterally choose. So it's like, okay, sure.
The perils of voting systems.
Yeah, we should add single transferable vote and so on to the voting. Rank choice.
Ranked choice voting. Was it Maine or Massachusetts? One of our states passed ranked choice voting this time around.
Yeah, there's a lot of electoral reform movements happening in Canada, which is great. Looking forward to.
Yeah, it's really exciting that they passed it since they're never going to get to use it ever.
Have you filled out the survey questionnaire thing, John?
I don't know.
I'll tell you about it later if you don't know what it is.
Is it a Nova Scotia thing or Halifax or?
No, it's Canada-wide.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, unless you have it in my mailbox.
It's online, actually.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's about the electoral reform. So
Right.
Okay. I was just waiting for somebody to vote for something.
Have we ever lost to Vengeance villains on the stream? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the one time that we assumed we would come close, we played like the dream team against advanced villains, and we took them to school.
Yeah, that's because we had the dream team.
Yeah, because we had the dream team, exactly. So, there's the Gazelle. I was about to say, I don't think Hunted Naturalist has had a card to play yet, so he hasn't been able to do the all three thingies yet.
Parse would discard a card if it gave it a +1 damage, but yes, do not shoot the Idealist.
Oh yeah,
Fair
I
play,
didn't talk
working on
about.
that.
Sorry, I didn't talk about the change to Prime Warden's Captain Cosmic, but as Mind Wanderer says, yeah, he can't stack his power anymore.
Yep. So basically, the change to the interpretation is, if you want to draw or play a card, you have to choose to shuffle it in, And if you shuffle it in, then you can't do it again.
Yeah.
But it still works with the other Captain Cosmic cards. Or at least it's supposed to. There's a test for you there, Jean-Marc. I know you've been busy with music, so I didn't bother with the engine bugs.
There is always another thing to fix. But hopefully that shows people the commitment we have to making the rules correct.
Indeed.
It's true.
Because we're not just like, oh, well, we already released that content, so we're just going to make new stuff.
All right, I am not going to deal 100 damage. So I went ahead and played Extrasensory Awareness. Look at the top 3 cards of the villain deck. Discard one of them, put the other 2 on top of the deck in any order. Who do we think would be a better play for this? Baron Blade or Friction?
Baron Blade.
All right, let's take a look at Baron Blade. So we've got Old Trick's new allies, Impulsion Beam and Empyrean. I hate Impulsion Beam. That's the one that stops the heroes from playing more than one card or using more than one power. And then Old Trick's new allies is going to let him play an extra card. Actually, yeah, each villain deck. Right.
It'll only let,
it's just friction at this point, though. In my opinion, that's not really that bad.
Especially if we can destroy Friction before Baron Blade goes, and then that card just does nothing except make Baron Blade heal 1.
Yeah, whereas Empyrean is going to deal a bunch of damage, right? So all right, so I will discard which one? Impulsion Beam or Empyrean?
No matter. Well, discard Impulsion Beam. We don't want that.
Yeah,
Yeah, all
I
right,
agree.
cool. And then we'll put Ultrix's new allies on top. And do I want to shuffle Friction's deck? I assume we don't want to shuffle Baron Blades since we just did that stuff.
No. The point of the shuffle the villain deck is like it's all horrible.
Yeah.
And shuffle it so that maybe something else comes on top.
Right.
I get to use a power. I'm going to, I think, regain HP and draw a card. Nah. Let's see. We want to take out Friction right before her turn, so I'll deal damage that Jeremy's not doing.
I bequeath it upon to you.
I guess I meant to use mainstays. Oh well.
Yeah, the Sentinels are crazy fun to play. I've been playing them a lot in testing. I claim it's because I'm, trying to make sure that everything works right, but mostly it's just because they're so much fun. Like, there's something to do with the dynamic of how, like, when you have a normal hero who has a lot of HP and then gets whittled down, the idea of being able to spread that around to 4 different heroes with different powers, but all technically in the same sort of play area, is a really interesting mechanic, and I really dig it a lot. Mimatone asks, for extrasensory awareness, should it not say choose a card to put on the very top? Since we've used that language before for like put a card on the very bottom.
I don't know. I think
yeah, potentially.
Potentially, but I don't think it's a huge deal. It seems more of a language issue with the bottom than the top.
Yeah, so Hez just... I can't even read that because it's like a weird green. Hez Jingixon asks, was there an update on the release date? Yeah, and I mentioned this early on the stream. We really wanted to be able to announce a date tonight. Unfortunately, that was not in the cards. Not in the cards. But
because it's a card game.
Because it's a card game! Whoo! We're really going to try and push for Christmas. But unfortunately, we can't promise that. So, know that is our goal. We're hoping to get it submitted in the next couple of days, and then it becomes a question of, Apple and how fast they can move. But we're going to, we are working to get this into your hands as fast as possible. It is a great expansion. We know that you guys are going to love playing it. And as I mentioned in the early part of this stream, the launch of Vengeance marks a cool milestone for the company, which is that we ran a Kickstarter, we successfully hit our goal on a Kickstarter, and then shipping Vengeance would mean that we have shipped the first thing that was Kickstarted, which is a huge milestone for us, and we're very excited about it. Mainly just because it shows that, you guys out there, you folks, believed in us enough to give us your money, to trust that we would make a thing for you, and as you can see in front of you, we've made that thing. It's not quite ready to go into your hands yet, but it is so close. So, keep an eye on our Twitter, our Facebook, join our mailing list. We promise you will get the information just as soon as it is fit to print.
The idea list has been knocked down.
It's actually a good thing it hasn't already been submitted because of that bug.
Indeed.
If that carries over to iOS.
Well, this is why we test.
Yeah, so Bell Sorcier says, wasn't the Season 2 sampler the first Kickstarter thing? From one way of looking at it, yes, but since that was not technically for sale as a separate thing, this is really what we've been focusing on, is this is the first thing that we are shipping that was Kickstarter.
The preview pack is not an expansion.
Right, it's a preview. It's, it would not have existed without the Kickstarter for sure, but, if we hadn't Kickstarted and successfully funded, that wouldn't have been a thing. And the only reason it's a thing is because we are, in fact, working on the rest of the stuff. So to us, this is the first thing. It's going to be for sale on its own. It's something you can buy standalone, and that's just the thing. So, Wakiki asks, is there a beta team? This seems like the kind of game that Bugs would be really interesting to see in practice. There is a beta team. Actually, during the Kickstarter, that was something that you could back to become as a beta tester. Occasionally, we have open calls for beta testers. We haven't done one in a while because we have a pretty solid beta team right now who does their job amazingly. Seriously, especially with a lot of the stuff that was going on in the various interactions in Vengeance. They really are amazing at finding them and helping us figure out what still needs to be done. So yeah, just again, same thing. Keep an eye on our Twitter, our blog, our Facebook, our email list. When we do public calls for beta testers, that's where you're going to see that information. Malukka Dude says, trust us with your money, you said. Like you didn't already earn my money with already proving you do quality. I need more music. Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. That is, we from an egotistical point of view, we would like to think of ourselves that way. But, as we said many times during the Kickstarter, we certainly had the option to go ahead and try and pre-develop Season 2 and hope that we could make enough money selling it to fund it, which is how we did Season 1. But we chose to use Kickstarter because we felt like we had proven we could do the job, and we wanted to make sure that we knew we could get all of Season 2 done, which would not have been a guarantee. If we had dove in and self-funded Vengeance and then started selling it, yes, there's a very good chance we would have sold enough that we could keep going. But we wanted to be on the safe side. We wanted to make sure that, if we're going to finish this game, let's make sure we can finish it. And that was why we did the Kickstarter. And it worked out. And we're thrilled to death that it did. It was a fun experiment. We may use Kickstarter again in the future. We did not hit all of the stretch goals that we had hoped we would, so we may still do that again. But yeah, Vengeance has been, it's been tricky to get done. But, it is, as you can see, almost there, and we can't wait for you guys to play it. We think you're going to have a lot of fun. One of the big comments we've been getting a lot is, Vengeance has got so much extra setup on the tabletop that I rarely play it, and I can't wait for the video game because I bet I'll play it more often. And, if that's the case, we hope you guys enjoy it because it really is a lot of fun to play. It's definitely changed the way that I play Sentinels. Instead of randomly dealing damage to one villain, I get to randomly deal damage to up to 5 villains. Which is,
indiscriminately.
What more could you ask for, really?
All right. On my screen, at least, it's your turn, Jeremy.
Yes, let's see. Do I have anything that deals damage right now?
You can make someone else deal damage. It won't be you dealing damage though.
Yeah. All right. Who's got a power?
Jimmy's like, I don't do that.
All right, Sentinels, make it happen.
I'll make it happen 2 times. And I would use the Idealist to deal damage, but she's knocked out. Have you been playing the Scholar much in Vengeance games, Jeremy?
I think maybe once. Is Scholar
It's
awesome
nice.
in Vengeance?
There are a lot of villain targets.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call.
You can do, like, first turn 15 damage and stuff sometimes.
I did have an awesome testing game where I don't dismiss anything into a don't dismiss anything into a team communication, a what's their one that lets them put out a thing, a signature, whatever that is, like 2 of those. It was a lot of fun.
You get to finish the game now.
I think this is fitting that I get to finish off Baron Blade, even though I didn't get to do the 100 damage that I wanted to do.
I think you did maybe 10 damage in the whole game.
No, I was at 13 when I stopped counting, so I think it was probably like 16 or 18 damage altogether. So there it is, folks. All right, so let's recap, shall we? No official release date, unfortunately, but we're doing what we can. You got to get all kinds of great Q&A with Christopher and Adam tonight. We gave away 2 copies of the holiday bundle. You got to listen to all of the music from Vengeance, and you got to see that not only do each villain have their own fun thing, but you get to mix them together, and that's only going to get even crazier when Villains of the Multiverse ships sometime next year. It's been a heck of a stream, 100 episodes, 2 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for believing in the Sentinels of the Multiverse. It's not even our thing. Thank you for believing in us, that we could bring this amazing card game to digital. Thank you for playing. Anybody else have anything? I'm just showering praise on our fans, but I'm willing to let you guys do so if you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just, like, amazed at, like, how consistently people come out to, watch what's up and check in every week. And, there's a lot of camaraderie in the chat and lots of ongoing jokes that have been going for like 2 years now.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I just think it's really cool, like, just sort of how strong and consistent that's been. And I'm not here all the time because evenings are usually family time. But I do like to sometimes I'll check in even if I'm not saying anything, or watch afterwards. And yeah, I just think it's been really cool. We had over 100 people watching tonight, and we definitely didn't have that many at the beginning, and so it's just been growing, but we haven't been losing. It hasn't been like constantly new people, and all the all the people who've been here for a while have gone away or anything. So.
Yeah, I will say that's one of the things I think initially with Sentinels that drew me to the property. Before we were even really seriously in contention to make it into a video game, was the community around this game is so cool. I think some of that comes from the fact that it is in fact a cooperative game. So it sort of self-selects people who are interested in working together and working with their friends and playing with their friends towards a common goal, and not like, I'm going to beat you. It's one of the things I've always loved about this game is when you play it with your friends, you're in it together, and that's awesome. And I think, that has carried over into the video game. It's carried over into the community that surrounds the video game. It's certainly no secret out there that video game players in competitive senses can get a little bit toxic, and frankly we don't really have any of that, and that is awesome. So thank you everybody again for joining us. I think that's going to do it for another episode of Sentinels Live, the 100th episode of Sentinels Live. Thank you so much for coming and joining us to do this for 2 whole years. We really can't say enough good things about you. Sentinels of the Multiverse, as you know, is of course the only cooperative comic book card game that you should be playing these days. Thanks for joining us. We do this every Tuesday night at around 7 Eastern, unless of course it's a special occasion when we do it earlier or potentially later. If you enjoy the show, please do like, share, follow, and subscribe. You can also follow all of us on Twitter. Jennifer is Cartoon Jen. John is Migrant P. I'm Mr. J Handel. Jean-Marc is Jean of Mark. And Krista is Ketchup Rocket. Or, of course, you can follow Handelabra or check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Handelabra. Sentinels of the Multiverse is available on iOS, Android, and Steam, and always in good old analog cardboard and ink. And you can find more info about the game at sentinelsdigital.com. So, joining me this evening was Jean-Marc. Say goodnight, Jean-Marc.
Good night, everybody.
Jennifer.
Good night.
Krista, who's not here, so I'll say thanks, everybody, from Krista. John.
Good night, everyone, and a special thanks to the base 10 number system.
And, of course, I'm Jeremy, saying good night from Sentinels Live. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night.
Happy holidays.
Feliz Navidad.